Hello everyone, I hope everyone is fine and doing great. Welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial, we'll discuss factorization of a trinomial. Now, first we need to understand what is the meaning of trinomial. Trinomial is an algebraic expression which has three terms. If I want to show you this question here, this question is from exercise 11.4, which is on page number 219 of your textbook. Okay, so trinomial means an algebraic expression which has three terms. So do we have three terms here? X squared plus 3x plus 2. Okay, so we need to factorize this. Now today we'll learn how do you factorize a trinomial, algebraic expression which has three terms. Okay, so x squared plus 3x plus 2. Now as soon as any question is given to you, we will arrange it in descending order of the power. That means the square will come first, then comes the x to the power of 1, and then the number. Okay, now after you have arranged it in the decreasing order of the power, now we will follow few simple steps to factorize this trinomial. Okay, let us see the first thing. Okay, this number has to be multiplied to the coefficient of x squared. Now when I say coefficient of x squared, what is the meaning of coefficient of x squared? Coefficient means the number which is in front of the variable, which is in front of x squared. Okay, so if we closely see here, in front of x squared, what do we have? We do not have any number in front of x squared. That means, what does that mean? In front of x squared, what do we have? We have 1. It is understood that in front of the x squared we have 1. So what you do, you multiply this number to the coefficient of x squared. In this case it is 1. Okay, so if you multiply, what do you get? You get 2. Okay, after we have got this number 2, what do we do with this number? Okay, we factorize this number in such a way so that the factors, whatever factors we get, after adding or subtracting, you should be getting the middle term. Okay, factorization of a trinomial, this method is also known as middle term breaking. Okay, it is also known as middle term breaking. So what we'll do, we'll try to break the middle term. We'll break the middle term in such a way, okay, so that the factors, whatever number we have got here, we'll factorize this. The factors should be such so that after adding or subtracting, you should be getting the middle term. Okay, so I think we have got the number 2. How did we get this 2? We multiplied this 2 with the coefficient of x squared. In front of x square, what do we have? We have 1. Okay, so 2 into 1, 2. Now we factorize this 2 in such a way, so 2 1s are 2 and then 1 1s are 1. So 2 and 1 are the factors of 2. So 2 into 1 is 2. So this is quite a simple sum, because the factor is already giving us the middle term. Okay, so the factors are 2 and 1. So if you add the 2 and the 1, what do we get? We get 3. Okay, so after multiplying, you should be getting this term, and after adding the two factors, you should be getting the middle term. Okay, now once we have got the factors and we have got the factors that will break the middle term, now let's see how do we write it here. Okay, so this is equal to x squared plus, instead of the 3, what do we write? 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1, and then the x plus 2. Okay, so we have broken the middle term. So this 3 we are writing as 2 plus 1, and then the x, and then the 2. Now what we do, we open the bracket. So what does this give us? X squared plus 2 into x will give us 2x, plus into plus is plus, 1 into x will give us 1x, or we can simply write x plus 2. Okay, so we have opened the bracket here. So 2 plus 1 x will give us 2x plus x plus 2. Okay, so if we add this part, if we add the middle term, you will get back the 3x. That means 2x plus x, or 2x plus 1x will give you 3x. Okay, now after this, what we do, we group the terms and then we take the common factor. Okay, so you group the first two terms and then you group the last two terms. Okay, the first two terms will be our first group and the last two terms will be our second group. Okay, now from the first group, what we'll do, we'll take common. So what is common factor here? You have x square here and you have 2x here. So 2, we don't have a 2 here, so we can't take the 2 common. Okay, we have a x square here and we have x. Okay, so we have already done such type of questions. So what is the power of x here? The power of x is 1. Okay, so we always take the least power as common. So x to the power of 1. So what we will do, we'll take x to the power of 1 as common. Okay, now we'll write down the leftover. Okay, we have not done anything with the second group, we are just dealing with the first group. Okay, now out of the x square, if we have taken the x common, so what will be left over here? X. Then this plus comes here as it is. Out of the 2x, we have taken out the x common, so what will be left over here? 2 will be left over here. So we are done with the first group. Now we go to the second group. Out of these two, what is common? Okay, first of all, we have already done this. If the sign here is plus and if the sign here is plus, if the sign is matching, what sign do we write? We write a plus sign here. Okay, now what is common here? Nothing is common here. Okay, that means if nothing is common, what is the coefficient of x? The coefficient of x is 1 and the 2 can be written as 2 into 1. If nothing is common means what will be common? 1 will be common. Okay, so after that we write down the leftover. So 1 into x. So out of 1 into x we have taken the 1 common, so what is left over here? X. Then the plus here comes as it is. Out of the 2 into 1 we have taken the 1 common here, so what will be left over here? The 2 will be left over here. Okay, now again we have to group. Again, this is our first group, this is our second group. Now if you check the first group and the second group, what is common? The bracketed term. Okay, the bracketed term is common. That means x plus 2 is common, x plus 2 is common. Here we have x, here we don't have x, here we have 1. Well, 1 is common factor throughout. Okay, so x plus 2 is common, x plus 2 is common. So what we'll do, we'll take x plus 2 as the common factor here. Okay, now we will write down the leftovers. So out of the first group we have taken the x plus 2 common, so what is left over here? X is left over here plus. Now we come to the second group. Out of the 1 into x plus 2 we have taken the x plus 2 common, so what is left over here? 1 is left over here. So this will be our factors. X plus 2 into x plus 1 will be our factors for x square plus 3x plus 2. Okay, so what is the most important step here? Okay, I'll just quickly run through the important steps once again. The first and the foremost important step is you multiply the number, the last term, the number with the coefficient of the x square. In this case there is no other number, that means the coefficient of x square is 1. You multiply. After multiplying whatever number you get, you factorize that. You have to find the factors. The factors should be such that after multiplying you should get back the same number, and by adding or subtracting should give you the middle term. This is also known as middle term breaking. Okay, so in this case we got the number 2 into 1, we got the number as 2. We factorize 2, so the factors of 2 will be 2 into 1, so 2 plus 1 will give us 3. Okay, so we are breaking the middle term 3 as 2 plus 1. Okay, 2 plus 1 and the x, we multiply the bracket. After that what did we do? We grouped the first 2 in the first group and the last 2 in the second group. Okay, then we took common factor, and at the end we have arrived at this factor. So this will be the factor for the trinomial x square plus 3x plus 2. Okay, I hope the working is clear to you. Okay, now such the things will be more and more clear. Let us take one more example. So let us take question number 2 Roman 2 and let's see how it is done. Okay, well, only the numbers will differ but the working will be exactly the same as we have done here. Okay, now let us see the next question. Y square minus 7y plus 12. Okay, only the numbers are different but the format is exactly the same. Okay, so as in the previous sum, what we'll do, we'll check whether it is written in the correct order or not. That means the highest power comes first, y square, then the y to the power of 1, and then we have the number. Okay, first thing is done. Right, now second, what we do, we multiply this 12 to the coefficient of y square. So as in the previous sum, there is no other number in front of the y square. That means it is understood that the coefficient of y square is 1. So we multiply the 12 with the 1 and what do we get? We get 12. Okay, so the next thing what we need to do, we need to factorize 12 in such a way so that by adding or subtracting the factors, what should we get? We should get 7, because since it is also known as middle term breaking, the addition or the subtraction of factors should give us 7. Okay, right. So let us factorize this. So if we factorize this, okay, 2 6s are 12, then 2 3s are 6, 3 1s are 3. So these are our factors. Okay, now we need to have suitable combination. You need to check the combination, and the combination should be such so that it should give us 7. Okay, so 2 2s are 4. What if we write 4 into 3 is giving us 12, and what is 4 plus 3? And 4 plus 3 will give us 7. Okay, so 4 3s are 12. Okay, and 4 plus 3 is giving us 7. So what is the most suitable combination we can use here? 4 plus 3. Okay, now let us try to incorporate this in the sum. So this is equal to y square minus, okay, instead of the 7, what will we write? Our factors are 4 plus 3 and then the y plus 12. Okay, now according to the board master, what we'll do, we'll open the bracket. So y square, okay, minus into plus gives us minus 4, and then we have the y minus into plus gives us minus 3y plus 12. Okay, if you just want to check whether this combination is correct or not, you can quickly do a check. Okay, what we'll do, you add these two terms. So minus 4y minus 3y is giving us minus 7y, and 4 3s are 12. Okay, so that is a quick check. Okay, now what we do, we group the first two terms, that will be our first group, and then we group the last two terms, that will be our second group. Okay, now let us work with the first group. So what is common in the first group? We have a y square here, we have a y here, we have 4 here, so we don't have any numbers in here, so we can't take any number as common here. Okay, we have y square here and you have y here, so y means y to the power of 1, so we take the least power as common. So what we'll do, we'll take y as common here. Okay, now we'll write down the leftovers. So out of the y square you have taken y common, so what will be left over here? Y minus, out of the 4y we have taken the y common, so what will be left over here? 4. Okay, now the next important step, we have to compare, we have to check the symbol. Here we have a minus, here we have a plus, so the symbols are differing. So if the symbols are differing, what sign do you write here? You write a minus sign here. Alright, okay, now let us check the common factor in the second group. You have a 3 here, you have a 12 here, so what will be the common factor? 3. Okay, we can take 3 as a common factor. Now let us write down the leftover. So we have a y here, but we don't have a y in the second term. Okay, so we can't take any variable as common in here. Okay, now let us write down the leftover. So out of the 3y we have taken the 3 common, so what will be left over here? Y. Okay, out of the plus already we have taken the minus outside, so what will come here? Minus, because if you multiply both the symbols here, this should give back this symbol. So minus into minus is giving you plus, and minus into plus is giving you minus. Okay, so out of the 12 we have taken the 3 common, so what will be left over here? 4 will be left over here. Okay, now again we have two groups. This is our first group, this is our second group. So out of these two groups, okay, what is common? It's quite evident, y minus 4, y minus 4. Okay, y 3, none of these are common, but y minus 4, y minus 4. So what is our common factor here? Y minus 4. Now we write down the leftover. Out of the first group we have already taken the y minus 4 as common, so what is left over here? Y. Okay, now this minus comes here as it is. Out of the second group we have already taken the y minus 4 as common, so what is left over here? Y minus 3 is left over here. So this will be our factor. So y square minus 7y plus 12, if you factorize this, you get the factors as y minus 4, y minus 3. Okay, now in these two sums, question number 1 Roman 1 and 2 Roman 1, we discussed a question wherein the coefficient of y square was 1. Okay, now let us discuss few questions wherein the coefficient is not 1, it is some other number. Okay, let us see how do we go about those questions as well. Okay, Okay, now let us see question number 4 Roman 1. Okay, question number 4 Roman 1 is a different type of question wherein you have a number in front of the x square. Okay, well, the working will remain exactly the same. So what is our first step? We'll check whether the order is written correctly or not. That means we begin with the highest power and we go to the lower powers. So we have the x square, then x to the power of 1 and then 8. So the order is absolutely fine. Okay, the next step, what you do, you multiply the 8, the last number, with the coefficient of x square. Here we have the coefficient of x square as 3. So let us multiply. So if you multiply, what do you get? 8 into 3 is equal to 24. So 24 is our number. Now you need to factorize 24 in such a way so that whatever factors you get, that factors should add up to 14x, or by subtracting the taking the difference of both the factors, it should come as 14x. Okay, so let us factorize 24. Okay, so if we factorize 24, what will you get? To 12's 24. Okay, I think we have got it in the first shot itself. So 2 into 12 is 24. Okay, and what is 12 plus 2? 12 plus 2 will give us 14. Okay, so we have got the factors in the first shot itself. That means 12 into 2 is equal to 24, and 12 plus 2 will give us 14. Okay, now let us incorporate this in a sum. So this is equal to 3x square plus, so instead of the 14, what do we need to write? We need to write 12 plus 2 and then the x and then the plus 8. Okay, so instead of the 14, what we have written? We have written 12 plus 2. Okay, now let us open the bracket. So 3x square plus into plus will give us plus, 12 into x will give us 12x, plus into plus will give us plus, and 2 into x will give us 2x plus 8. Okay, now let us quickly check whether our middle term breaking step is correct or not. So 12x plus 2x will give us 14x, and 12 to the 24. Okay, don't make a mistake of multiplying this and check this 8. Okay, 8 we have to multiply with the coefficient of x square. So what is our number? Our main number is 24 here. So 12 into 12 plus 2 will give you 14, and 12 to the 24. So our middle term breaking step is correct. Okay, now what we do, we group the terms. The first two terms will be in the first group, and the second and the last two terms will be in the second group. Okay, now what is the common factor here? We have a 3 here, we have a 12 here. So out of the 3 and 12, what we can take common? We can take 3 common. So 3 is the common factor between 3 and 12. Now we have a x square here and we have x, that means x to the power of 1. So what common factor can we take? We can take x. Okay, you can take the least power, that means 3x is common. Now what we do, we write down the leftovers. Now what is the leftover? Out of the 3x square, you have taken the 3 and you have taken the x common. So what will be left over here? X will be left over here. So then we have a plus. Out of the 12, we have taken the 3 common. So what will be left over here? 4. And out of the x, we have taken the x common. So that goes outside. Okay. Now after you multiply this should give us the previous step. Okay, so 3x into x will give you 3x square, and 3x into 4 will give you 12x. Okay, so it's perfect. Now we come to the next group. So we have a plus sign here, we have a plus sign here, so we give a plus sign here, right? So out of 2 and 8, what will be common? 2 will be common. We have a x here, we don't have a x here, so we can't take x as common. Now what we do, we write down the leftover. So out of the 2x, we have taken the 2 common. So what will be left over here? X. Plus out of the 8, we have taken the 2 common. So what will be left over here? 4. Okay, now let us multiply the bracket and see whether we get back the same thing or not. So 2 into x will give us 2x, and 2 into 4 will give you 8. Okay, now again we group. This is our first group, this is our second group. Okay, now it is quite clear from the grouping that what is our common factor. 3, we don't have a 3 here. X, we don't have a x here. 2, we don't have a 2 here. So whatever is outside the bracket, none of them are common, but the bracketed term x plus 4, so these bracketed terms are common. So what is the common factor here? X plus 4. Okay, so after taking the common factor x plus 4, what is left over in the first group? 3x is left over in the first group, then the plus sign comes here as it is. Now out of the 2 into x plus 4, we have taken the x plus 4 common. So what is left over here? 2 is left over here. So this will be our factor. So x plus 4 into 3x plus 2, x plus 4 and 3x plus 2 are the factors of 3x square plus 14x plus 8. Okay, so there was no change in the working of the question except one thing, the first step itself, that you have to multiply the 8 to the coefficient of x square. So 8 3s are 24, so 24 becomes our main number. You factorize and check the factors, choose the factors in such a way so that they add or subtract to the middle term, because this is middle term breaking. Okay, I hope this working was clear. So let us take one more sum and discuss one more sum wherein we have a coefficient of x square, so that things will become more clear to you. Okay, now let us discuss question number 5 Roman 1. So question number 5 Roman 1 is similar to question number 4 Roman 1, wherein we had a coefficient of x square. Okay, so the process remains the same. I am doing this sum for you so that you get the concept right in the first step. Okay, so 14x square minus 23x plus 8. So what is our first step? We'll check whether it is written in order or not. Okay, so x square, x to the power of 1, 8, so it's perfectly in order. Now what is our second step? We multiply the last number to the coefficient of x square. That means 8 multiplies to the 14, so 14 multiplied to 8, so 8 4s are 32, 3 8 was the 8, 9 10 11 112. So 112 is our main number. So we need to factorize 112 in such a way so that the factors by adding or subtracting should give us 23. Okay, so let us go ahead and factorize 112 to find out what will be the factors. So we start with 2 to 5 is 10, 1 to 6 is 12, then you have to 2 is 4 to 8 is 16, then you have 2 1 is 2, 2 4 is 8, then you have 2 7 is 14. Okay, then we have 7 1s are 7. So let us try to check the combination which will give us 23. So 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16. So what is 16 plus 7? I think this should be the correct combination. 16 plus 7, this will be 3, and this will be 23. Perfect. Okay, so 16 into 7, so 16 into 7 will give us 112, and 16 plus 7 is giving us 23, which is our middle term. So what is our factors? 16 plus 7 will be our factors. Okay, so let us write it down. 14x square minus, instead of the 23, what will you write here? 16 plus 7, then we have the x plus 8, right? Okay, so this is equal to 14x square. Okay, now let us open the bracket. So minus into plus, this will become minus 16x, then plus into minus, minus 7x plus 8. Okay, so we have got 14x square minus 16x minus 7x plus 8. Okay, now let us group the terms here. So this will be our first group and this will be our second group. That means the first two terms in the first group and the last two terms in the second group. Okay, now let us see. Now what is the common factor between 14 and 16? Okay, so what is the common factor between 14 and 16? So 14 is 2 into 7 and 16 is 2 into 8. So I think 2 is the common factor between 14 and 16. So we have x square here and we have x here. So x means x to the power of 1. So we take the least power as common. So what is the least power? X to the power of 1 or x. So 2x is the common factor in the first group. Okay, now out of the 14 we have taken 2 common, so what will be left over here? 7. Out of the x square we have taken x common, so what will be left over here? X. Then we have a minus sign here. Out of the 16 we have taken the 2 common here, so what will be left over here? 8, and x to the power of 1 we have already taken this as common, so this remains to 7x minus 8. Okay, now we have a minus sign here and we have a plus sign here, so the signs are not matching, they are differing. So if the signs are differing, what sign do we write here? We take a minus sign, we write a minus sign here. Okay, now let us check the common factor in the second group. So is there anything common? 7, 8, no, x, no. So nothing is common means if nothing is common, what is common? Always you take 1 as common. So if you take 1 as common, so what will be left over here? 7x. Okay, so minus into plus will give you minus, and this plus we make it as minus and 8. Okay, so after you multiply this should give back the same thing. So minus 1 into 7x will give you minus 7x, and minus into minus plus this will give you plus 8. Okay, so this is done. Now again we'll group. This is our first group, this is our second group. Okay, now what is the common factor in the first group and the second group? It's quite clear. 7x minus 8, 7x minus 8. So what we do, we take 7x minus 8 as common, 7x minus 8 as common. So after writing the common factor, what do we write? We write down the leftovers. Okay, so in the first group we have already taken the 7x minus 8 as common. So what is left over? 2x is left over. Then comes the minus. Okay, out of the 1 into 7x minus 8 we have taken the 7x minus 8 as common. So what is left over? 1 is left over. So this will be our factor. That means 7x minus 8 into 2x plus 1 will give us 14x square minus 23x plus 18, or 7x minus 8 and 2x minus 1 are the factors of 14x square minus 23x plus 8. Okay, so there was no difference in the working. The first step you have to check whether it is in order or not. The second step, you have to multiply the last number with the coefficient of x square. After that, whatever number you get, you factorize it in such a way, and you choose the combination so that the factors after multiplying will give you the main number, and after adding or subtracting it should give you the middle term. Here the middle term is 23, so we got 16 plus 7, 23, and 16 into 7 gives you 112, and from there you open the bracket, take common, and that's it. Okay, so there are a few more questions of different type in the sense the working will be the same. Now we will discuss questions wherein the order is not right. Okay, it is given in a jumbled form. Okay, so that we'll discuss in the next video tutorial. I hope these sums and this working concept was clear to you. Well, if you have any doubt, if you have not understood any of the steps when we are having our online classes, please clear your doubts when we have your online classes. And boys, this breaking of middle term and factorization of trinomial is very important, because in class 9, class 10 you will have chapter of quadratic equation. In quadratic equation the same concept will be used. How do you break the middle term and how you find the values of x? Okay, so this is very important. So boys, please get it right in the first go. If you have any doubt, if you have not understood any of the steps, please feel free to clear your doubts when we are meeting online. Okay, you have my WhatsApp number. Any queries, you please feel free to WhatsApp me your queries, and I'll be happy enough to help you with your doubts. Okay, so that's all for today. In the next video tutorial we'll discuss some more questions on factorization of trinomials with some other type of questions. Okay, so bye for now and take care.